right. Welcome once again to another episode of Sports Therapy with FH Jr. I am your host. Now, let's go over the rules for the rule breakers for the year 2023. This is a new year, but the rules remain the same. On Sports Therapy with FH Jr., callers will have 2 minutes. You can either call, you can rip, rant, kick some knowledge, laugh, cry, whatever long as you don't get violent. Also, on Sports Therapy with FH Jr., please keep in mind that we are entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. Please do not call me doctor. Although I am a certified counselor, I have not earned the right to be called a doctor. Not yet. Now, on the show, all are welcome. We don't talk race relations or politics or sexual orientations. I don't give a fat rat butt about what the Democrats are doing, nor do I care what the Republicans are doing. All we are here to do is talk football, NFL football only. Now, like I said, callers, you'll have 2 minutes. You can call in, rip, rant, kick some knowledge about all things NFL. And the number to call, if you want to be a live guest, is 940-329-4110. And we are streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Sports Therapy with FH Jr. Keep it real simple, okay? Now, today's show, man, whew, it was a heartbreaker. It was a heartbreaker. Well, first of all, I also want to say that today's show is always brought to you by our sponsor, and that is Crown Royal. Crown Royal, and that is my drink. Yes, sir, indeed. But on today's show, wow, I am gonna need my callers to call in, and especially members of the Redskin Commander Football Team Nation, because we took it in the shorty shorts today. We were eliminated, and that is going to be a whole different topic. That is going to be a whole different topic in itself. There are some teams that are still alive, and the Green Bay Packers, go Pack, go. But the Who Dat Nation, they played well, but they are eliminated from the playoffs as well. So, man, it is what it is. Yeah, it's just one of those things, man. I'm not gonna lie. I got to bring the energy because that's what we do. But man, today's is testing my fandom. God, I was like, man, yeah, we have a divided family among the good Commander fans. We are a divided family. Half of us really pissed. Well, we all are pissed now, but we're pissed because we had a quarterback change. We went from playing Tyler Haneke to Carson Wentz, and we see how that turned out. But so if you are just tuning in and you want to know what the hell am I listening to, you're listening to Sports Therapy with FH Jr., where callers will get 2 minutes to call in and rip, rant, kick some knowledge about all things NFL. Today is week 17, excuse me. This is week 17, and it is a new year. So if you made any New Year's resolutions, and we all make them and we all break them, we all make them and we all break them. But you know what? I am going to jump right in, and we're just going to take a call. Sports Therapy with F.A. Jr.
Oh, hey there, brother FH Jr. This H-Town giving you a call.
H-Town, I wish you could give me a big old hug, too.
So I say, let me call my
Oh,
favorite radio personality and just to wish him a happy new year and just to I ain't got nothing to rant and rate and all that tonight, It's just about you and wishing you a happy new year.
you too, H-Town. And I am so happy to hear from you. How is it? I'm going to ask you about how is the jogging going, what you got coming up next as far as your running. You got a new marathon coming up?
Oh, actually, I got a birthday actually in exactly 2 weeks, January the 15th. And so I'll be in Arizona running the Rock and Roll Half Marathon in 2 weeks.
I
So
got
pray for me. I hadn't had an opportunity to really get in some long miles like I needed to, but if I have to walk and enjoy the scenery, it's all good.
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Well, happy birthday to you when your birthday gets here, and happy New Year to you as well. You're one of my favorite callers. I don't. It's just like a parent. You can't pick between your kids, but you're one of my favorites though. But since you're not gonna rant and rip and
Yeah.
I'm going to. Well, I'm going to rant later on, but I want to talk to you about my Commanders. But I want to talk to you mostly about Deshaun Watson. We played
Mm.
the Browns today, and as I tell people, they're
Mhm.
not your father's Browns, but they prevented us from making it to the playoffs. And I was, you know what? Last couple of weeks, as he was starting to kind of get back into the groove of playing, I could
Mhm.
tell
Exactly. Yeah.
I could tell he was rusty. So I was like, okay, I hope we catch rusty Deshaun instead of new polished Deshaun. Well, we didn't get rusty Deshaun today. Hell, we got new polish. We got new money mint, new money mint Deshaun.
Yeah.
Oh God, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, Jesus, we in for a long day, and uh, Bridget, you don't know it hurts. It hurts. This is that stuff. See, people don't
Yeah.
understand about when you're a fan. It's games like this that just tears your heart out.
Yeah.
It does.
Like you say, don't underestimate Deshaun though, because he was a talent in Houston. It's just circumstances and coaching and this and that and circumstances and that's why he's no longer a Houston Texan, but he was a talent.
I agree. And see, and I knew
Yeah.
that. I said, you know what? This guy's gonna shake the rust off, and when he does,
Mhm.
he's gonna be a killer. And I was like, man, I was hoping it wouldn't happen today because we had a divided family.
Yeah.
We decided we wanted to switch quarterbacks at the last minute. I'm like, come on, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was rough
Well, as they say, it's always next year.
for a whole lot of us, man. There were some teams that
Yeah.
even won and got eliminated.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Because of who that.
But I guess other than like who, the Eagles, Minnesota, those were kind of like the teams that did well all year. But other than that, and I guess the Cowboys have a pretty good little record though.
Yes, yeah, they do. And,
Yeah,
and you know
yeah,
your Steelers are alive too.
yeah,
They got a heart.
yeah,
They
yeah.
barely got a
But
heartbeat, but they alive.
yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, you right. You said it just right. Barely got a heartbeat. So, it's like I don't know who you thinking gonna win the Super Bowl. If you had to, your pick,
And,
who do you think? Philadelphia, Minnesota. Uh, well, I don't know about the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know that they that good. I know some of your people gonna call in.
yeah, they should go call in. but you know what? If I had to pick a team that I think if I was to bet money and call Vegas and say
Mhm.
Vegas, I'm gonna bet $200 on this team, I would say
Mhm.
the San Diego Chargers, or they may not be
Oh,
San
okay.
Diego anymore, but the Chargers. They are.
Yeah.
They're that team that's kind of hiding, and they got everything that you need, man. They got a young quarterback that can throw it. They got a young defense. That's my for the like I said, I think they will. Um, I would tell you though, Bridget, I would love to see the Buffalo Bills win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Just somebody different that hadn't done it in so many years or ever.
Oh,
That's what I'd be hoping for.
mm-hmm. And see, my rationale behind that is is that the poor Buffalo Bills. I don't know. Do you remember when they went to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row and lost every one of them?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
If in
Oh, okay. So you just want them to finally get that win
yes,
after so many attempts.
yes, and I think if they
Yeah.
if
Okay. I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think if they get there, I think everybody will be cheering for the Buffalo Bills because, I mean, I remember when they went 4 years in a row, and
Mhm.
and every year, man, they would come up short. One guy, I think it was, I don't know, it was Thurman Thomas. It was a running back. He fumbled the ball on the one on the 1 foot line and called them the game, and they traded him.
Mhm.
Yeah, they did, man. So that's my
Yeah.
team. Now you know I'm never gonna, you know, I'm never gonna say I want the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. That's never.
Um,
Uh.
I would love to see, Dak and, just all of the adversity that he's been through. Not to say that none of the others have had their own, set of adversity, but he just seems like, I guess, women, he seems like such a humble and sensitive young man. And just, I'd love to see him win a championship.
Don't get me wrong. I don't dislike any of the Cowboy players because I just think I I just think if you're playing in the NFL at whatever level, I don't care if you're the kicker or you if you make that 50 man 52, 53 man roster, hey man, I got much respect for you because every one of those guys have a story to tell. But that being told, yeah, if you watch the video, you know I opened up with my standard uniform and it said Washington Commanders. So I just can't,
Hmm.
I just can't
Now,
do it.
what you think going on with two teams? You think what do you think's going on with Baltimore, and then what do you think's going on with Denver? Polar fell in Denver. Russell.
Well, let's start with Baltimore first. I
Oh, okay.
I heard a
Because I
report.
like that little quarterback too.
I heard a report, and I don't know if it's true or not that that Lamar Jackson is saying, "Hey, you know what? Um, y'all not gonna pay me, and I'm not gonna get hurt." You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I'm not gonna get hurt. So, um, because he didn't play this week, and they actually went
Hmm.
and bought and they actually went and found him a new backup quarterback to the backup quarterback that's playing. So now
Hmm.
I've heard that
Hmm.
Lamar is just basically saying, hey, you know what? Hey, he's a give me a new contract and we can talk. Otherwise, I may not come back this because he's gonna be a free agent
Hmm.
after this year anyway. Either they're gonna give him the
Hmm.
franchise tag or he's gonna walk away. And that's what I'm
Hmm.
hearing on that front. Now your
Hmm.
second thing you talked about was with my man Russell Wilson. I don't know if if sometimes it's just not a good fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sometimes the grass is
Yeah.
not always greener on the other side. And sometimes we don't find that
Because
out
don't
until
feel
we
like
get
he can
old.
do none of the stuff he did. He did in at least his younger years in Seattle. It's like that person gone.
And Russell's not an old man. He barely 30.
Yeah, and then he's not old exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So but sometimes when you go to a different team, they don't play the same system that you play under. Um, you know, and sometimes you're not surrounded with some of the athletes that you had, like the wide receivers, running backs, or the offensive line. Well, I mean, even in Seattle, he didn't have much of an offensive line, but he did have some offensive weapons around him. Sometimes, like I said, Bridge,
At least they made it to the Super Bowl, and then
oh
he made it
yeah,
to the Super Bowl.
yeah, twice
Yeah.
they won in one year,
Yeah. Uh huh. Yeah.
and remember that team.
For some reason, I think. Uh huh. Go ahead.
Remember that team was good for a long time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sure they were. And like I say, it just seems like that version of, whatever he was a part of and his contributions to it no longer exist.
And then they're trying to go negative on him, and some people trying to say, well, he has a case of the big heads, and it's almost like now I'm celebrity quarterback now. Let's talk about.
Well, you know what? That's what I was just getting ready to say though. I wouldn't be surprised if he do a JJ Watt and he retired because they both. It's like JJ. I wasn't surprised because It's like when he had that new little baby. It's like life is like he didn't want nothing else to do but be a family man. It's almost like.
Well, you probably want to be able to remember
And I
who.
kind of see Russell like that. He's a huge family man. Everything. Like you say, socialite, celebrity, and I just wouldn't be surprised if he at some juncture soon, you know, just call it and say I'm retiring.
Well, a lot of these guys are not playing as long as the football players like Emmitt Smith and all those guys because, like you said, they could
Hmm.
have so many projects outside of football, or
Hmm.
basketball, or whatever professional sport they're playing, and so with that in case, they don't have to take that you don't have to have your body be all broken
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so a lot of them are choosing to like, hey, look, hey, this is my brand, and I'm making boot,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. That's what I see. They're more about their brands now, and it's like they know they can survive. Their wealth won't be
yes,
impacted
oh yeah,
if they left the game, if they left that sport.
yeah. And then you have a lot of these guys are coming in the league now. They're having more parental support as well. Whereas, and I'm not saying that you know some of them are getting bad advice, but you get some of these kids are coming in with two parent family, grandma and grandpa around, and so they're growing up learning how to look at because a lot of them have been in some type of sports all their life, whether it's select sports or whatever, and so they've
Hmm.
always processed the whole the experience as a business. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Exactly. And so, do you think they did that in the early years, or is that something new now? Just by virtue of more education, being more knowledgeable about certain things, and
Well,
is that kind of recent, that mentality?
I think that mentality is probably within the last, I'd say maybe maybe 5 to 10 years. I think because used to be guys would come into the league and they're just happy to be in the league, and
Exactly.
and I'm happy to be here. And as soon as you give me a check, I'm blowing it the next day. Now, and
Yeah.
plus, we didn't have some of the things that you could do with the internet, and then like you said, with a different branding. Um, you know, heck, and right now you can look them. These guys have 1 million followers on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere else, and I mean, so a lot of times they're saying I'm not gonna play this game till I can't play no more. I'm only gonna play
Hmm.
about 5, 10 years, and and I'll tell you what's having a lot of I wouldn't say pressure, but a lot of influence on these guys are the wives because now you can wives are saying, hey, look, I don't want you to be all broke up and can't remember who I am when you walk away from the game.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
and that's what I'm starting to see though. But I just think that
And what makes Tom Brady so different that he can't lead a game? So is that just old school?
I'm glad you asked that question because Tom Brady said something the other night. I think it was one of the sports channels was talking to him, and he says, he says, man, he's been playing football for half of his life, and he really don't know
Hmm.
how to do anything else.
Okay.
And I thought about that, and it's not that I don't even think he plays for the money. I think he plays because what is there else for him to do?
Yeah.
Because he's saying that when you think about it, because Tom Brady is 45, I believe, he says he's been playing football for half of his life. So if you go back to
Yeah.
Pee Wee Pop Warner and he was good, so he was always had select sports, so college, NFL, da 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 da. So he has been playing for, you know. So
Yeah.
it's like what there is nothing else for me.
Yeah, but sometimes I guess just if they have children, they want to be more involved in, their lives, and it's kind of like you look at LeBron and that other basketball player whose sons they got kids playing now, and even Deion Sanders. It's like you subject to see them at their kids games now.
Yeah, yeah, and you're right. They are taking um I would say
So it's like Brady, he don't even care about that unless maybe because his kid maybe they're not into sports and stuff or you know.
well,
But even like those guys, they're in. I mean, they they trying to be at their kids' games.
But you got to think about it though. Those guys are well. I think about LeBron is they're quite younger than Brady. So you asked me before, when did that mindset
Hmm.
change? I think that mindset may have
Oh,
changed
okay.
about 5 years ago instead of 10,
Okay. Gotcha.
because I'm starting to see like
Gotcha.
a lot of the younger guys like Steph Curry and basketball. You see them, you see their family. LeBron, you see him, he's at his dad's game, he's at his kid's game. Kobe, when he was
Yeah.
living, he was head coaching one of his daughters, you know, and so you see a lot of
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
So you're right, that mindset has changed. Whereas before, these guys were groomed, they were groomed to be football players, and everybody that they were surrounded with was, that's the only conversation they had: football, 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 football. So then they get to think, well, there's nothing left in life but football. So what am I gonna do? You know, but
Hmm.
play
Yeah.
football. Just like right
Yeah.
now, Brady has, he has a contract with one of the one of the television, in which he has a nice contract. So when he get done playing, he can walk in, pick up a mic, and be in the studio. But yeah, and you be honest though, for some people, sports is a drug, man. It's like that's a type
Yeah,
of
I guess
high,
so.
you know.
Because who is it? Is it? It's Eli or somebody that's going to be a coach at one of the colleges. It's just like, I guess they say we still young. We ready to, we can still contribute.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who is that that's going to some college to be like an assistant coach.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it is just,
Yeah.
sports is, it's just, all that is fast paced. You got to go here, you got to go there. We got all season, we got training, we got to lift weights, we got to be with the fella, we got to watch film, we got to do this. I got to eat right. I got here's some, I got to get with the trainer. So when your career ends, that camaraderie with all those guys that you hang out with, it's
Yeah.
gone. It's like reality sets in. Like,
Yeah.
oh hell, what the heck am I gonna do? And some of them can't
Yeah.
handle just being at
Exactly.
home with the wife and the kids, and dropping the kids, dropping the kids off. And some of them can't handle that,
Would you say some people do that? That's not what they want to do. That's
No,
just not what they want to do.
no, some people can't
Yeah,
handle that.
I got you. So that makes sense.
And I'll give you a good example. And this is getting away a little bit from what we're talking about, but it is in a sense. I have been working for, this is like my 30-something year in education, and
Hmm.
we've always got paid once a month. So for almost 25 years, I have been able to live off of, my whole budget is centered around, when I get paid once a month,
Hmm.
everything is tied into that. So for a short period, I moved back to Arkansas, and I worked there for about 2 years, and they got paid every 2 weeks. Girl, I couldn't handle that, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, I understand. I work for the state, and we got paid once a month. Then, like I said, I moved to another organization, and then it was every 2 weeks. Yeah, so I definitely understand what you're saying.
I couldn't handle that. I'm like, no, nah. I was so used to it, being it ingrained that this is it. So I think for a lot of those guys like that, athletes, they have to be around because it's a high, it's a drug, it's a drug.
Yeah,
Some of them, man, they when it's when it's that final time when they got to take that uniform off and they got to turn in those cleats and they got to do all that stuff. Oh no, no, no. Now don't get me wrong. They love their families, they do, but that
yeah,
you can't replace that high. And some of them have learned to
yeah,
replace that high with coaching, with being in the studio, you know, and some have even went into being a referee because they're still around it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
if that makes
It'll be
sense,
interesting to see what J.J. Watt might do. It's like, will he just focus strictly on humanitarian kind of stuff, and
right,
because I don't see him being like a coach or nothing.
right, 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 yeah. But
But it's like, I just imagine. I guess he was tired of just hurting. You think he's somebody that probably like really hurts
oh,
at the end of the
oh
day?
yeah, because JJ been playing
Yeah,
for years, man. So oh
yeah.
yeah, I bet. Well, H Town, I love talking to you, and I'm gonna let you know something between you and I started training for hot chocolate run.
Say that again, sir.
I started training for the hot chocolate run.
Okay, cool.
No.
What? Hey, look, what date is it? So I can be sending you messages about it. What is it in February or what?
Yes, it's in February. I think it's February the 15th, but don't lock me in on that date. But I'm
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, you know that, boy.
So
You
my
doing the 15K?
yeah, I'm gonna do a 15K. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, good.
yeah. You know what?
I'm excited for you.
I
Okay.
decided I'm not gonna run any more full marathons. I'll probably do a couple half. I'll stay around the half to 15K ish.
Oh yeah, no, that's all I'm focused on now is half
yeah,
marathons. I
yeah.
have no desire to do another
None.
full. I
Nah,
have
no,
absolutely, yeah.
no, 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 no. So
No.
yeah. So hey, you know what? Thank you for calling and appreciate it, sister.
All right, sir,
All
and
right.
happy New Year's, and I look forward to talking to you
All right.
again.
Okay. I got you. All right. Happy New
Thank
Year.
you.
All right. Bye bye.
You too. Bye.
What's good?
Sports therapy. Welcome. What's going on, G?
What's up?
Oh, it is what it is. Jay,
Did
you're.
you see that?
I did. I did. I did. So now let me ask you this question, Jay.
Down here to your cousin because that was a shit.
So now, you do know that your team is eliminated, right? Or am I?
It's all right. It's all right. It's okay.
Am
You
I?
know what? We went out with a bang. It's all right. It's okay.
Hey, we're out too, Jay.
It's all right, man.
And you know what? Hey, you guys have played the game of your lives.
Yeah.
Hey, so now are you at Buffalo Wild Wing?
I'm an outbid.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's all good. But yeah, it was a you guys played the best game that you guys have played in a while. And for
Yeah.
just we all came up a little bit too short. Now,
Yeah.
now I want to take you to this one key play though. Even though you guys did manage to pull it out, now there was an interception that my man Andy threw that kind of but we're not gonna go there. At the end of the day, you guys won. So, but TB Tom Brady won too. So, wow, Jay.
Yeah. I saw that. I was hoping for a better ending, well, not a better ending, my bad. I was hoping for a different ending.
Oh, I got you. Oh, we were too. We were too, Jay. Look like it's gonna be next year for all of us. You, me, the whole gang. The whole gang. Yeah. But you know what? It looked like my man Aaron
What's that?
Rodgers and the Packers just might get in. All they have to do is beat the Lions next week, and the Packers are in the playoffs. And I don't think a lot of people want to see them Packers in the playoffs. Go Pack, go!
I do not. I'm sorry. Sorry for Green Bay, but yeah, nah. Down here, use your cousin bill. Hell no. I'm good. Hell no, man.
You know what?
Come on, Lions.
Oh, you know what?
Do your time.
I think it would be good to see a fresh new team. The only problem is, well, you know what? The Lions okay. But I think a lot of people don't want the Pack to get in there because they're afraid of having a veteran quarterback like Aaron Rodgers in the playoff. Yeah, that's the
I just
part of it.
want to see somebody new, man.
I got
I
you.
just want to see somebody new.
I got you.
Just me first. I just want to see somebody new. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got. Yeah,
And I think just for the rest of my younger friends over here, we want to see somebody new.
they tired of seeing the same old teams go.
Yeah. We want somebody new.
I got you. Well, Jay, better luck next year to both of our teams, and I am going to
Yeah.
wish you a
Oh,
happy new.
by the way, hold on, wait, maybe I don't remember. Nice gift though, bro. I saw it. That was nice.
Oh yeah, so you saw the gift that someone it was. I wish I knew who it was, but Jay actually thought it was you, but what you said it wasn't you.
Nah, man.
It was nice, man.
My pocket don't go that deep.
It was a nice gift, man. Someone gave me a replica NFL football helmet of my team, the Commanders. So it was all good. Yes, it was. It was. I loved it. That was
Yeah.
nice. It was nice. Well, hey Jay, let me let some more people get in here, and I want to wish you a happy New Year, 2023. Okay.
All right.
Uh,
Happy New Year.
all right.
Hell yeah.
All right, Jay. All right.
Damn. All right now.
All right. Later on.
All right now. Bye.
Bye
Who
bye.
that?
Who that? Say they gonna beat them. Say.
Bye bye.
Sports to every with F.A. Jr.
Yes, sir. It's the Ravens extraordinaire, Brandon.
Brandon, my brother Brandon, you know what I want you to do tonight?
Here it goes.
You ready to give us some play-by-play?
Man, and we need it right now.
All right,
man.
come on with
Okay.
it. Come on with it. Here's your chance to get discovered.
All right, come on, baby. All right, bam. So as we in the first quarter, man, they got the ball. Steelers come out first drive. They pushing it all the way down to the 3-yard line. This is a pretty good drive by the Steelers. I can't really say too much bad on the Steelers, man. I mean, they're clicking on all cylinders. You know the Steelers could have a terrible season, but you know when they play us, this game is going to be something crazy. It's 3rd and goal on the 3-yard line, man. 7 minutes into the game. Let's see, ball snapped, going into the corner. Ooh, great defensive back playing, man. Great DB play right there. So we forced them to a field goal. Looking pretty up for us now. The one thing which is crazy, a lot of people call us the Black Air Force Division because the games just get so crazy.
I know.
Like you never know what you're gonna expect, man. But one thing the Steelers showed what they always show. We can play like crap against everybody else, but when we play the Baltimore Ravens, especially in prime time,
they bring the A game,
man. But here's the thing: we win this game because the Bengals are leading the division. So the Bengals have the Bills tomorrow on Monday Night Football. I'm chalking that up as a win for the Bills. If we win today and Cincinnati loses tomorrow, we have the same record. So we win the tiebreaker, of course, because we beat Cincinnati.
Okay,
so
I was going to ask you about the head-to-head. I was going to ask you about the head-to-head.
And then, the last game of the season, we play Cincinnati for all the marbles. So we're hoping and praying, man. But overall, the Baltimore Ravens, man, we're doing good. Seeing as though Lamar Jackson isn't there, still recovering from knee injury. Of course, Snoop is doing the best he can. Tyler Huntley's doing the best he can, but he's no Lamar Jackson, right? And I think the way the offense is tailor-made, it's tailor-made for Lamar to try to go out there and do whatever he can.
Right.
Is it the smartest thing we can do? No, not at all. But what's crazy is that Lamar could possibly not come back for the rest of the season. Rightfully so.
And I want you to put a pin in that statement because we're going to revisit that statement right there. Keep going.
Mm-hmm. So the way it's looking, man, it's getting ugly for my franchise. Do I believe we should pay Lamar? Yes. Because Shannon Sharp said a very powerful message. He said, what is Lamar going to show you now that he hasn't already showed you the past 5 years?
True.
Right. And due to the lack of depth that our offense has, you're putting too much pressure on Lamar Jackson. Look at the Chicago Bears. They pretty much run the same offense we are. And physically, it's tearing, Justin Fields apart. So it's just a dangerous game we're playing. But I believe even without Lamar Jackson, we can beat the Steelers. Now, next week, we playing the Bengals. Hey, man, I don't know. Like, man, unless we bring back Joe Flacco for 2011, next week's gonna be crazy. But enough about my Black Air Force division. But
now I told you,
mhm.
put a pin in that statement because we're gonna come back. Now I'm trying to think off my head who was the reporter that said this. That says now you mentioned that there's a chance that Lamar may not come back at all this year. Somebody said that Lamar may just say, you know what, I'm not coming back because you guys see what this is doing as far as to my body, and I'm not gonna come back
Mhm.
until you guys give me the contract that I'm asking for.
And rightfully so. I know Sharon Sharp touched on it a little bit. I know Joy Taylor has been very vocal about it. I know RC Ryan Clark touched on it on ESPN. Colin Coward had touched on it too on the herd. But Lamar, and rightfully so. Like, you want me to go out there and risk it all for what?
And someone said
For
that
what?
someone says that right now he is operating right now from a position of power that he may not have once the season ends, but right now he's in a position of power. For example, if the Ravens make the playoffs, get put out of the playoffs without Lamar Jackson, and then hell, there may be a riot because people will see what life will be like without Lamar Jackson. So pay me my money.
hmm It's one of the. I don't think we've seen a situation like this ever in the NFL. I mean, think about it. The Atlanta Falcons made Michael Vick the highest paid player in NFL history.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that when Vick was going through his thing. Because I know next year they're gonna try to bring him back, franchise tag him, all that stuff. I have my disagreements on the franchise tag. I think it's the worst thing that
Oh
the
yeah.
NFL ever created.
Oh yeah.
So it's terrible. Like I said, I mean, we're good enough to make the playoffs. Within the position we're in right now. Without Lamar Jackson. But we're not going to make any noise. I mean, the way it's quiet as it's kept, first game of the playoffs, who are we going to have to play? Like maybe the Chargers, maybe the Patriots. Like, the playoffs is a whole different ball game. Especially let's say we got the Patriots first round of the playoffs, right, in the wild card game. Bill Belichick's gonna have a ball carving up this defense, like creating a defense to stop Tyler Huntley. Come
Oh
on
yeah.
now.
Yes. Yes. Yep. I agree.
So man, it's not looking too good, man. But kind of looking around the league, things are shaping up. Salute to the LA Chargers for kind of making a late season push, and they're in the playoffs. In the AFC, it's a four-way tie for the seventh seed between New England, Miami, Pittsburgh, and Tennessee. Salute to Jacksonville for winning. Well, being atop of the division, I wouldn't say winning yet. NFC, it's getting kind of close. I would have to say if Philly loses one more game and the Cowboys win another game, if Philly and the Cowboys are tied, the Cowboys jump to the number one overall seed.
I can tell you,
Which is
man,
insane.
Philadelphia is leaking oil right about now, brother. They are leaking oil.
Man,
They lost
because
Lane Johnson
it's
last
getting nuts.
week. They lost
Oof,
another
and I'm
guy.
talking about a first ballot Hall of Famer,
Yes,
Lane Johnson.
yes, and they lost Lane. They lost a couple of key guys today. Um, they're leaking oil, man, and it's not where you can say, hey, they're just playing that way because they don't want to get anybody hurt. No, when you got a chance to lock up first place and that you do that, today would have been the game to take care of business, and they didn't because they just didn't. You know.
And it's insane because if we're looking at the NFC playoff picture, man, It's between. First of all, I'm not even getting into y'all. Y'all folded so bad, bro.
Dude,
Had the 7 seed locked in.
dude.
So it's between Seattle, Detroit, and Green Bay. And Green Bay and Detroit play next week. And Seattle plays the Rams for the final game.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Rams look like the type of team to say we ain't got nothing to lose and beat Seattle for the last game. But I have to give it
But if
to Aaron Rodgers.
if Green Bay if they win all their games, they're in.
But like, what's crazy?
Who wants him? Who
That
wants to
first
see him?
round matchup.
Who wants to see him in the playoffs? Cowboys don't.
Come on, dude. Because remember with Green Bay, the biggest thing was can Aaron Rodgers gel with these young receivers? And it looks like Watson is becoming the number one.
Yep. And they're starting to be where he expects them to be.
Mm-hmm. But I got a bone to pick with you, man.
Dude, bring it.
So I'm over here in fantasy, right? I'm like, all right, man, it's the last week of fantasy. Need a quick dub. So I'm looking at your boy, Dotson, right? The past 3 games, like, yo, he been getting
dropped.
He been getting some targets and everything.
Dropped the ball.
20 points.
Dropped the ball.
My dumb self tried to put him in flex this week.
Didn't catch the ball. Brandon,
Horrendous.
Since you have pulled the scab, since you picked at the scab on my wound, I might as well just go and pull it all off and make it hurt. Man, let me say this, brother. I was so pissed off today, man, that I haven't did this probably since I was about 2 or 3 years old. Man, I was so pissed off, man, I had to take a nap. Dude, I was pissed off.
This man took a nap.
I took a nap. I was so
mad. This man took a nap, bro.
Dude, I took a nap. I was so pissed. I'm thinking.
Wait a minute. Against the Cleveland Browns.
The Browns.
Deshaun Watson only threw 18 passes and had 3 touchdowns.
I know, man. And the thing about it was, and the gist of the show is that callers get 2 minutes to rip, rant, kick knowledge, laugh, cry, whatever. And I always tell people, you know what? You can't talk about the whole game, but at some point, man, you have to, as a coach, you got to say, okay, wait a minute. This is not going the way I think it should go, so I'm going to give this guy a quick hook. When he threw that second interception, dude, he should have been on the bench, shoes off, not even allowed to even have water. Hell, I wouldn't have gave him a water bottle. Dude, because I think at that point the game was still savable if we had put Heineke in. Now, don't get me wrong. I tell people, Heineke is not the savior for the future, because sometimes you have to put the right players in for that one moment. And I think for this moment, just for this season, I think we could get better production out of him, because Wentz has shown you who he is. Wentz's biggest problem, I'll tell you the one thing that irritates me the most about Wentz. It's not even, the interception, he holds on to the ball. That's not it. It's the fact that he's wildly inaccurate. And when you need to keep the drive going, he can't even hit the damn check down, man. It's like, dude, he's right there. He throws it at the dude. Unreal. And that is what keeps the drive going. He can't do that. Heineke can do that well. Heineke ain't gonna throw no, he ain't gonna just fit the ball and through certain windows. No, his arm's stringy. But he knows how to, I'm not open. Hey, I know I got a check, man. Right in here, I'm finna hit the check down. Boom. And I'm gonna keep this drive going. Now, Robinson can get lathered up. We can, now the running game is back. Now we got Gibson. We can, now we can get Samuels. We can get this thing going. But when you bring in the guy who can't even hit the damn check down guy, and he's right by you, man, what, what, Brandon?
Here's my thing, man. The fact that y'all stuck with him. See, this goes to me thinking that like the NFL and professional sports got to be rigged because you had the opportunity to go to the playoffs. Because remember, y'all got a tie, so that kind
Yes.
of puts you ahead of other teams.
Yes.
Even though you know me, I'm not a fan of rewarding no wins. But
I agree.
it's like you kept him in, and I'm like, yo, like get him out. After the first pick, I'm like, all right, it happened. After that second one, he ain't coming. He ain't playing the rest of the season, dog.
He got to come out after that, man. Get him out of there. No, they
Because it's like
left.
at this point, y'all aren't that bad of a team to where you're gonna get a top 5 draft pick to where you're seriously gonna get a quarterback. So like you might as well just go balls to the wall. And
Dude,
if I'm Chase Young, I'm mad I even came back for this. Like
because what I didn't like was the um the defense was playing their butts off.
hmm
Defense was playing their butts off,
Mm-mm-mm.
man. They were playing their butts off.
Man,
And then
dude, y'all legit let the playoffs
dude,
slip away.
and I'm gonna be honest, man. I I really can't. I'm pissed off about this whole. What did you see in this guy to make you decide you want to switch with your whole
I,
season on the line, man? What?
man, I'm not gonna lie. If I was y'all tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I'm on the phone with the Raiders trying to figure out what I can do to get Derek Carr.
I agree. Now, if I would GM for a day, this is what I would tell the Raiders. Hey, look, guys, we'll take Derek Carr. You guys got to pay some of his salary, you know, and then I would draft. I would draft because I think this guy's gonna be available for him in the late round. But I think he'd be. I think as a quarterback, he's gonna be a steal. The young kid who used to play, he was a quarterback for Oklahoma. And now he finishes. He finished.
Okay.
God, what is his name? Because he finished
You
his.
talking about You talking about Rattler?
Yes, yes,
Is Spencer Rattler is he entering the draft this year?
yes. Yep.
That wouldn't be a bad.
I
That wouldn't be a
know,
bad pickup.
dude, and you
If
can.
I was Spencer Rattler's agent, I wouldn't want to get drafted to y'all, to be honest.
But think,
But
but think about it now. You Spencer, you ain't really got no. Your body of work ain't that great, okay? But I'm
yeah,
saying
I know he
you get this guy. He don't have to play. You let him sit because we can play Carr for a year or two while the young rookie
Yeah,
can come along. Now we can build an offensive line. You know what I'm saying? We're not in a hurry, but the whole thing is like, dude, you got to. It's like, okay, because if we could combine Wentz and Heineke into one person, we'd have the perfect quarterback, you know. But we can't do that.
assuming you take the crazy thing is like sometimes with Carson Wentz, it's like what is he seeing out there on the field?
Dude.
Because you have offensive weapons.
Yes, but it goes back to um if look, man, this is your third team and you have not risen to the occasion. He was in the same predicament that he was in last year with the Colts. You win this game, dude, you are a hero. We carry you off on our shoulders. You know, you're a hero. You you could have set things right that you screwed up last year with the Colts and said, okay, hey, he didn't rise to the occasion, man. It's like he can't. I don't want to question the guy's intelligence because you know what? I haven't played on that level, and I know the game is fast and whatever. But at some point, I got to ask you
I would say as a student of the game,
because I'm going to ask
you've
you.
seen good and bad football, man.
Yes, yeah. Now, like I said, I played high school football, and I coached. I coached.
Mm-hmm.
So as something, I'm asking myself, is it a processing situation? Can the guy process? And what is it that makes you cannot hit a guy wide open in the flat. That's just right there. And it's not like this is just a temporary. This is something that I've seen over and over again. Yeah, he can't.
Yeah, it's gonna get worse because he's not getting the amount of reps he needs at that position. You're bouncing from team to team. You're not really improving in the off season. I don't know what's going on.
Well, see, that's
It's just so many that are just being taken right now.
well, see,
Carson Wentz.
well, that's the conversation that I would expect if he was a youngster, a younger quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Because I know in practice, no, you don't get to practice with the you only practice with backups. But hell, man, a guy in the flat, he's just in the flat. Whether he's Dotson or whether he me, you should be able to hit me. I'm just what 5 yards. Yeah, I'm your check down. Come on.
Look, man,
and
y'all need to check down, check up. I don't know what y'all
because usually if a guy is your check down, he's usually wide open, right? That's your safety valve.
Dude, what are you like? What was he looking at? And also, I have said on record, I expected Thomas to be a better tight end.
Yeah, and I'm getting to the point to where I'm ready to move on from him. I'm ready to move on from that whole coaching team. Ron Rivera, he's a good man, but hey, man, his decision making as a coach, as a leader, I don't know if the game has passed him. In fact, like I said on the show, we can't talk about the whole game, but let's talk about something that happened after the damn game. Ron Rivera gave an interview. Oh. You sent me this, and I said, man, I've already seen that. That is why I had to take a nap after this crap. They asked him, hey, coach, are you thinking about making a quarterback change? And then they said, well, you guys, you can be eliminated if Green Bay win. And the brother didn't even know. He didn't even know that if we lost this game and Green Bay won, we would be mathematically eliminated from the playoff hunt. Brandon, what the hell, man?
Bruh, when your own head coach gets to the podium and doesn't even know the severity of the situation at hand, like, yo, Ron, bro, you do realize, bro, you can't afford to lose another game, bro. Like, you're not going to the playoffs, man. Like, I didn't know we could be eliminated. The hell have you been doing?
Brandon.
What are we doing as an organization, bro?
Brandon, how the hell do you not know that? And if you knew that, then it brings me down to this. If you knew that, would you have done something different? Would you have maybe this whole quarterback? I don't know, man. I don't know.
That just kind of summed up your whole year. I was like that. You mean to tell me you don't know the severity of the situation that's going on? Yeah, man, we're done. We're done here.
I just said, hey, brother, I can't. You ever been so mad, man, that your head hurt? I was like, but that is, and I tell my fans, man, that's what being a fan is all about. When you get that sick, stinking feeling that that reality sets in and you just feel like, oh, crap, what the hell? That's called being a fan, man.
Hey, man, we just had to settle for a field goal, so game's tied 3-3, 14 minutes left in the second.
Mm-hmm. So, man. Dude, like I said, when it comes to you guys, I'm like you, man. What has this man not shown you as an owner, as a coaching staff, that you can't commit to him, um, all the resources in the contract that he's asking for, because now you're in the family, so I might have to ask you: is it the fact that if we give him more money, we cannot afford to surround him with other weapons that he needs?
My thing is he's been on a rookie deal. It's not like you brought anybody else in.
Okay, that's why I was asking.
So it's like, my thing is, what are you gonna do because Lamar's like, bro, if I'm gonna get the franchise tag next year, I'm not playing. Like, nah. And this is what I don't like about the franchise tag. If
Well,
you're a
now,
first round draft
well,
pick.
the only thing about it is, they franchise tag him. He gonna have to play, or they'll start finding him.
He is, but that's an ugly situation.
Right now,
I wouldn't want to test Lamar Jackson in that situation.
No, it's now.
I don't want to play chicken with that man.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you might franchise tag me, but you know what? You may not. You may get 70% of my ability instead of 100%.
Yeah, but this is what I hate about the franchise tag. So if you're a first round draft pick, you can get, it's the 4-year and then the 5th-year team option. If the team picks up that 5th-year option, you get more guaranteed money that last year. Well, that's 5 years. A team can technically franchise tag you only twice. So they can franchise tag you that 6th year and that 7th year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, I think the franchise tag is what an average of the top 5 players of your position, but no one likes the franchise tag because it's not guaranteed after 1 year. So that means you can have a first round draft pick for a total of 7 years before you actually pay him a long-term deal. Insane.
Now let me ask you this question here. What do you think about, let's just say who does it look like going to have the number 1 pick? Does it look like it's going to be the Texans?
Yeah, it looks like the Texans got the number 1 and the Bears have the number 2.
Okay. Well, the Bears don't need a quarterback. So if you're the Texans, would you say, you know what? I'm gonna trade. We'll trade y'all this first round pick for Lamar Jackson.
Wow.
Would you do the dance? If you're the Texans, I would.
Yeah, I'd do it.
But if you Baltimore,
if the Baltimore Ravens, if the Lamar Jackson doesn't want to play, and you can draft Bryce Young.
Now let me ask you this. Hold on there, bro, man, from the 5th floor. Which one would you rather have? Bryce Young or my man from Ohio State?
Okay, so let me preface this by saying I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan first. I'll always love the Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also a Lamar Jackson fan, and I don't like this situation. And I think everybody could have agreed that if Lamar Jackson decides to go somewhere else because they're not going to pay him, everybody would be like, "Hey, man, like, you got to do what you got to do."
Oh yeah,
right?
Oh yeah.
I would wherever Lamar goes, I buy a jersey. I'll be a Lamar fan, right?
Okay.
I just want him to do well. I'm not a root for that team, but I don't like this situation and what they're doing to my quarterback. Now, if they make that decision, right,
mm-hmm.
which I feel like is a good decision on both ends, right?
Yeah.
Because the Texans, they got some weapons, man, on the offensive side. Because Pierce played good this year. Their wide receiver, they got Brandon Cooks. I mean,
yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Just
now,
saying.
if you're the Baltimore Ravens, it depends what type of offense you want to run. Of course, I believe Bryce Young is the best player in college football.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he showed that. Like, you see what he did to Kansas State. Like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
On the cool, if Alabama would have finished with a better record, he might have won back-to-back Heisman.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
There's no doubt. It's no doubt. He is a good, and he's gonna be a great young quarterback in the future. It's no doubt. But also, I still like that boy Mocha for Ohio State too now. But like I said, I think Bryce seemed like he is one step ahead of every player as far as from the quarterback position. He seemed like, okay, it's almost like he's a a musician playing his instrument. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I can make this guitar walk.
But the bad part is, man, are we gonna draft a quarterback and try to rebuild the offense, or like, are we gonna keep the same offense?
Well, if you think about it now, Bryce he's a dual threat, but I don't I don't think he's a he don't know because hey hell ain't nobody like Lamar Jackson around, but you wouldn't have to just all of a sudden break everything down from you wouldn't have to start from scratch, but hey you get somebody on a rookie contract you don't have to pay him nothing but peanuts, and then you can go and use that money to spear away some good veteran
Hmm.
players from what just playing GM,
But
bro.
I'm trying to tell you, man, that rookie contract, man, is one of the best things, man. Okay, sack. Oh man, can he pick it? Step in the pocket, he throws, pass completes to Pickens. Pickens caught the ball on R35, but it's a flag. Another thing, man, I don't want to keep you too long.
Hmm.
I have something very serious I want to say about the Tua situation in Miami.
Okay, go for it.
This man had 3 concussions this year. What the hell is going on? Like
I could
the Miami Dolphins,
I can tell you.
this is black. And the thing about Tua is he's on his rookie deal. He's not going to get a max contract, of course. But it's sad, like, bruh, this man has had 3 concussions in the same season, bro.
I can tell you what's going on. They don't give a what about his health and weight because he's just a product. He's just a product, and from their point of view is, hey, once we use that product as much as we can, he's expendable. Um, I think me personally, I like to see him walk away from the sport. Um, is he? I doubt it. But he's going to be labeled as damaged goods, so nobody in the future is going to give
Mm-hmm.
him a big contract because the next hit may be it may be the one that ends his career concussion wise, and now he's like, okay, look how much money we got wrapped up in this guy.
And the crazy part is the way that they build the Dolphins team. They don't have any more draft picks because they had to go and get Tyreek Hill and
True.
all these different people. And that team is ready made for another quarterback can step in.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Man, so I feel like that's something to definitely keep in mind as we go into the season, into the off season. And I also think this gives the NFL players unbelievable leverage in the next CBA
Oh yeah.
because something because I think there needs to be an independent whole organization made that analyzes these concussions and everything like that. Like this can't keep happening, bro. Like Tua legit at this rate, bro. Yeah, he's most likely going to have CT. Like
Right. And I think what needs to happen is that when a player gets a concussion, I think they need to go to their own personal physician. As much money those guys make,
like
you know what? I'm going, and I think each one of them or whatever, because at the end of the day, um, the physicians that work for the company, they gonna give you the company line because their job is to, you know, defend the company. It is what it is. So
man, and because the crazy part is, you mean to tell me you can go in the tent, answer some questions. Oh, you ain't got no concussion. What?
yeah, and then when I look how far that whole concussion motif have came, I just remember when I was playing ball years ago. Man, it wasn't no such thing, dude. They would just you get what they call get your bell rung, and man, they had you right about there, man. I remember I got a concussion, man. I didn't even know what the hell a concussion was. I played the whole game, man, and couldn't remember nothing. I couldn't even remember when the game was over, dude. I couldn't even remember ever playing the game. I,
See,
and I remember, man, I turned to one of my homegirls, and we were walking out, and I said, "Hey, who do we play tomorrow night?" but
and there it is.
and dude, I went home and and like I said, back in those days, man, it was what it was, man. And what's funny though, the way I got my concussion, I didn't get from being hit. Actually, I was running the ball, I got tackled, and as I was getting up, I think somebody was getting ready to take off, and the back of their foot hit the back of my head, and it wasn't even nothing hard. You know what I mean? I just, next thing I know, man, I'm on the sideline talking crazy. But they stuck me
Lord
right
have
back in there,
mercy.
dog. They stuck me right back in there, man. But those were the mindset of how things were back then. Hell, they didn't even hell you couldn't even drink water. Yeah, they consider that weak. You drinking water now. It's better, but it's got hell. It's still got a long way to go. But when you start injecting money into it, big money, then all of a sudden they don't think what's best for the players is not always going to be at the forefront, if you know what I mean, because they have this he's a commodity type mentality, which is now back in the days, the older guys who played, they just kind of went along with the flow. But you got a newer mindset where it's like, hey, nah, no. You guys make billions of dollars and whatever. No. We got to be taken care of on the back end. We had to have some protocols in place. We got to have some safety measures in place. We got to do all that because you see a lot of guys are walking away from the NFL and walking away from professional sports early at a young age because of that.
Well, I think we now have the data, man, from your era
Yep.
and eras before of guys. Literally, guys can't even use the restroom by themselves. Like, you know, it was sad. Like it was like a Tony Dorsett documentary,
Oh yeah, I
and
watched
like
it.
he was struggling. You remember he was struggling to his like granddaughters had to tell him how to get to the school.
Yeah, they had to come get him at certain places. So,
Like he every morning he driving his granddaughters to school, and it's hard for them to. And he can't remember with the directions.
yeah,
Like I know Jamal Lewis had it bad to where he was having mental breakdowns
yeah.
as far as his head trauma.
And
And
see,
I'm just and thinking about it, in your era, the equipment damn sure wasn't as good as it
oh,
is
dude, no,
now.
no, nah. I mean, equipment wasn't hell. Most of the equipment was either, man, it was. Even back then, you had the best equipment, but it wasn't the best. I mean, hell, they just figure, okay, put this helmet on your head, put your earpiece in, put your mouthpiece in, and go out there and play. And they wasn't where everything is kind of like, it's got cushion around to make sure that your head don't move inside of the helmet and all that. Nah, dog. You can press, and back then, hell, you could take your helmet and almost spin it around on your head because it's so
Man,
much.
especially when Jim Brown,
Oh
when Jim
yeah.
Brown was playing, that man ain't have no padding in
Nah,
that
no patent. And think about the ones before him when they had the leather helmets. you, just-
helmet, bruh.
you showed up with your helmet in your back pocket. Yeah. So
Man, they put on the ski mask.
it's like basically that's what it was, man. Like, yeah, we gonna play football, we gonna go skiing, or fly a plane. But yeah, brother, it's wild and woolly, man. But I just got a feeling, man, that it's gonna be a bad divorce between the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, man. I as a part of me wish somebody would step in and say, hey, nah, we ain't finna let this, but that's what I'm seeing, man. You know what I mean?
Sad, man. I mean, that's where we're at this point, man. And I don't like it, but do I, as a fan, am I mad that Lamar is taking, if he leaves? I can't say I am because I feel like he gave our organization everything and more.
Yeah, yeah,
So I can't even get mad at him, man. And I think Ravens fans would understand, like, hey, man, Lamar, like, you did everything you could, man.
yeah.
We
But
failed you.
but you know what? You are probably one in, I don't know, one in 10,000 fans who actually think for the betterment of the players. The average fan don't give a crap. All they want to do is they team to win. You know what I mean? They don't really, just like with all the talk and research that we hear about CTE and all that, ultimately the fans could demand that the league do more than what they're doing, but the fans don't care. They're like, hey, man, go out there and win. I'm not going to let my son play football, but I don't care about you playing football. Go out there and win. Entertain me. But I don't know, brother. We got to do better. Players, we got to do better for the players. As I was saying, man, if you don't take care of your product, you won't have no product. So we got to do better. But hey, Brandon, it has been good, brother. Thank you for calling in. And I got to admit, man, something, man. Talking to you, man, actually was good therapy for me, brother, because you don't know, I was pissed. I was pissed.
Hey, man, hey, brother, you know, every week we go back and forth, man. We both have organizations that are giving us heart attacks.
Man, dude, I was so pissed off. I was so pissed I had to go to sleep. But I was like, hey, dog. But hey, man, get your plug in, brother, for what you do, man.
Yes, sir. My name is Brandon Cooper, man, from Grand Prairie, Texas, the Ravens extraordinaire. My boys and I, we do a weekly podcast. It's called the D1 Ignite University podcast.
And they are good.
That's D1IGNANT podcast. We're on Anchor app, Spotify podcast, Apple podcast. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at D1 Ignite University. And check out our latest episode. We had a very interesting conversation about the album of the year.
What'd y'all come up with?
I would say we had a consensus that, Kendrick had the album of the year, but we also said JID, J-I-D, who's also on J. Cole's label, definitely had the breakout album of the year and could actually contend for album of the year. But one of the guys on there, he brought up a very nice point. Burna Boy had a hell of an album this year too. All
right. Well, hey, brother, keep doing what you're doing, man. All right.
Oh man, I got you, man. I'm gonna try not to blow a gasket watching this game.
Oh man, Lord. Happy New Year, man, and come take Carson Wentz off my hands.
If I see Carson Wentz ever step foot in the T-Bank Stadium, I will go up there myself. Myself. I don't know. I don't care if I got to ride first class or get on the Peter Pan bus. I'm going up there myself before a Baltimore Ravens jersey touches that man's skin.
Hey, man, thanks for calling in, brother.
All right, man. God bless my brother.
Happy New Year, you too. Happy New Year.
All right. Yes, sir.
Discover Crown Royal Blended Canadian Whiskey. Patiently fit for a king. Expertly blended since 1939. After a long, hard day of crime fighting, you know what I do? I reach for a bottle of Crown Royal and I say, hey, come over here and crown me, baby. Drink Crown Royal responsibly. That is my drink. Now, as we wrapping and capping, as we push forward to the new year, this has been week 17 in the NFL. And I would like to thank all my listeners, Bridget in H-Town, Jay in Grand Prairie, my homeboy Glenn, Brandon from D1 University, along with my Cowboy fan. I would like to thank everybody, all my listeners across the booth, all my listeners down in my small town of my good state of Arkansas and Louisiana, and those on the yard. You guys know what I always say. What's that? Stay golden, baby. We'll see you next week.